Thank you. Good seeing you again. I got a question about the no look pass and all that. Has gotten an awful lot of attention, and just kind of wonder, like, we're not elite athletes, but anybody who grew up playing with the ball, experimented with, submarine baseball and all that. I wonder with you how you developed some of the arm angles and some of the throws that you make, and specifically the no look pass with you.
Arm angles wise, I think baseball probably has a lot to do with it. Played a bunch of baseball growing up, and threw it from all different angles. Just always trying to, figure out different ways to throw it. As far as no look type throws, I guess. I think it probably started when I started playing with Calvin the most. Just because everybody on defense knew where I was trying to go with the ball the majority of the time, and I was trying to move underneath coverage, move post players, whatever, just to get our guys as fair of a one-on-one as I could get it. And then it just kind of develops from there. Just try it out and walk throughs, have some fun with it in practice. And then you just do it in game. It's not something I surely didn't sit there and think before that play was snapped that I'm going to do look left and then look right and throw it back to Marv. It's just something that happens naturally for me.
I was going to ask the other part of it is the discipline of doing it, because you're looking right over here and you're going to throw left, and these guys are they're frozen. They look like Stonehenge standing there. How did you maintain a discipline to do that?
I don't know.
It was unexplainable.
I don't know. Just do it. No, I mean, it's not the first time doing it. You just get better at it as you go. Understanding what the defense is doing, understanding coverage and all that, and where your guys are headed and where zone guys are standing. So just something that just kind of happens. It's not predetermined. It's not, I don't know. It's kind of tough to explain, I guess.
All right, okay, thanks a lot. Have a good holiday.
Yes, sorry.
Tim?
Hey, Matthew. Thanks for taking the time. First off, how are the ribs feeling?
They're doing okay. Still sore and all that, but not any worse.
And then secondly, obviously you guys are dealing with some quarantine issues with some coaches and stuff like that. 12 years into your career, do you need a guy to call plays for you? I mean, are you at a point now where if something does happen, Bevel's not available or whatever, that you can pretty much run it? I mean, you've been around a long time, played in a lot of games. They can't throw anything at you haven't seen. Do you need a play caller, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, the way we run this offense with mixed personnels and different people in different spots for certain reasons. Yeah, I mean, I think we do. Is if we needed to go out there and throw the ball all over the yard and we didn't have anybody physically able to call plays, sure, we could get away with it and go for it. But I think we'd be at our best calling plays in this offense and mixing and matching personnels and getting matchups we like. So it's still important. Do I feel comfortable at the line of scrimmage going and getting us into some good plays? Yes. But I think we're at our best when we can mix and match.
Thanks.
Justin?
Don't let O'Hara fool you. He's written plenty of no-look stories over the years. So, this has been a crazy year, with the pandemic, with, the coaching situation and, this current situation. How do you reflect on the totality of it, and I guess how mentally draining has this one been versus, a normal 16-game schedule?
I mean, it's definitely been, a wild ride. Not only for our team and the league, but myself, kind of everybody. And really, to me, doesn't even start when the season starts. It starts all the way back in, March, April. Just off season, totally different. Season totally different and all that. But I've got to hand it to the guys on our team and our coaching staff, and really our organization handled it really well. Just control what we can control, go out there, try to do our best job of making it work with what we got. Obviously, this week presents a new challenge for us. But guys are still coming into work, ready to run, ready to go, and excited to go play.
And I know you've talked about Tom Brady several times over your career when you had these matchups, but I'm just wondering, it's a different season for him in a different system, yet he's still putting up pretty damn good numbers. Do you have even a greater appreciation for what he's accomplishing this year in particular at his age?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I have a ton of respect for him. Anywhere he goes, he's going to be playing at a high level. There's no question about that. I think, going to a different system and learning that after as long as he was in one, that's a challenge. And, obviously, you got to learn the little intricacies of that offense. And he's still putting up great numbers, like you said, got his team in position to win a bunch of football games. So I got to give him a ton of credit. He's obviously a great player, an all-time great player at the position. Enjoyed competing against him in the past and obviously watching him as well.
Thank you, Matthew.
Dave?
Hey, Matthew. A couple things. First of all, Merry Christmas. Hope you have a good holiday. A lot of people on the outside sort of look at what's gone on here the last couple of weeks and say, frankly, like what the hell is going on with the Lions, right? They fire a head coach, they fire a coordinator, all this stuff this week. I don't know. Can you calm any concerns about that? Do you guys scratch your head internally there and say, what in the world are we doing here as an organization right now?
No, I mean, I think all those are pretty unrelated. They're all their own separate incidents, and may or may not really have to do anything with each other. When COVID happens, I mean, shoot, nobody knows. You know what I mean? We're all trying to do our best. Everybody's doing everything they can to try to make sure we're doing right by ourselves and our teammates and our team. It's a tough virus and a tough disease. So it's unfortunate. Hopefully we can get those guys back as fast as possible and go out there and play well on Sunday.
Weird is the right word, but you're Saturday, right? But you're to not have a coach at this time, a head coach, or in person. I don't know, just that dynamic. Is that 2020? I guess. But.
Yeah, it's different, right? We all just got to be ready to adapt. I kind of, it's been that way all season. I was locked in a hotel room for a week not too long ago too. So we've all been there taking our turns. It's not easy. It's not fun. It's understandable. We're trying to do what's right, trying to keep everybody safe in this building. But at the same time, it's difficult. Yeah, but there's plenty of teams in the league have dealt with these things. We're just one of them at this moment. It's on us to make sure that we're prepared and ready to go play well.
As a veteran quarterback, how much would you be licking your lips at the opportunity to play against a team that has no defensive coaches, play caller, position coaches, in a couple of days? That just seems like a dynamic that a guy like Tom Brady would thrive under. Bruce Arians would thrive under.
Yeah, the only problem is you got no scouting report on the new guy calling the plays. So we do have that, a little bit of the, as far as whoever's calling it, there's not a big book on them, and so we have that in our advantage, I guess.
And then last thing, just since O'Hara asked about the no-look passes, I know we've been talking about them for years with you, but did you hear what Rodgers said a couple of weeks back? Just that guy up in Detroit, number 9, that's been doing it for a long time. When he said, just any reaction to that and what he said.
Yeah, somebody sent that to me, brought that to my attention, but I obviously appreciate it. I got a ton of respect for him. I think, the world of him as a player, I've obviously competed against him a bunch of times in my career, watched him on crossover tape and all that, and what he's able to do is pretty impressive as well. So I appreciate that respect, and it's mutual.
Thanks, Matthew. Time for 2 more. Mike Rothstein.
Hey, Matthew. How are you doing? Happy holidays. First, Tom Brady's playing at 43. Could you see yourself doing? You always say you want to play for a long time, right? But could you see yourself doing that, or is that
43? That seems far off. That's really impressive. I got to give it to him. It's incredible what he's been able to do. Still moving around great, throwing it great. Playing at a really high level. So I'm not sure how he's doing it, but it's impressive, man. He's doing a great job.
And Kelly posted, I guess, the last couple of days, y'all been doing your Christmas, what you typically do on Christmas with families. What's that been like for you this year? Because I know you've always said in the past how much you get out of that and derive, whatever from that. What's that been like this season for y'all being able to do that?
It's really different. Obviously one of our favorite parts is being able to go, meet face to face with these people and, kind of hang out with them for a little bit. That's obviously not in the cards this year because of COVID. So we've set up Zooms and, spent about 15 minutes, half hour with each family, just kind of hanging out. And it's a different dynamic. This year we've been able to help more people, more families than than in the past, just different way. It's something that we feel like is important. We love doing it. And, you got to give a ton of credit to my wife. She's the one that, does a ton of the legwork. But it's a special thing that I'm sure we'll continue to do.
What are those Zooms like? Because like in the past, it's been like sometimes a surprise when you show up. Like I imagine it's not like a Zoom surprise, right?
Yeah, no, it kind of is. These people don't know that it's going to be Kelly and I on the other end. There have been some tricked into pizza parties. One woman said that she thought her sister-in-law was going to get on and tell her she was pregnant, but it was me on the other side. So we've done a decent job. The people who have written in, their friends have done a pretty good job of keeping it secret. Quite a bit of surprise faces, so it's been really cool. Still really rewarding, but at the same time, wish we could, hang out and meet these people. But Zoom will have to do for now, and some of them are emotional, some are happy and laughing, some are they're all over the place. We just try to hang out and get to know some people. So it's been fun.
Appreciate it, Matthew. Thanks.
Last one was Sarah.
Hey, Matthew, it's Sarah Walsh with the NFL Network. Just wanted to ask you, Bruce Arians was like glowing in his praise of how much respect he has for you this week, and just talked about how tough you are and that your teammates know how tough you are every time you're out there. And I'm just curious, as this season comes, sort of to a close, physically, compared to other years, just how are you feeling and how important is it for you to maybe gut these games out, and how much consideration have you given to shutting it down?
Not much, if any. I think I want to go out there and play. As far as how I'm feeling, it's the end of the season. I've got a few things here and there, but I was able to make it through last game without getting much worse, if any. So I feel good about my chances. To try and be out there this week. But I think it's important to go out there and play. That's my job, is to go out there and play. We got a bunch of teammates that are going out there to try and fight and win, and I just want to be out there with them, giving everything I got.
Great. Thanks, Matthew.
people you want a long snapper, really?
Mike Rossin, go ahead.
Hi, Don. How are you? Yes, we want the long snapper. First is, can you walk me through kind of what this week has been like for you with Braden being let go and what your vantage point was as far as what happened on Sunday?
I mean, Bev addressed what happened on Sunday, and I'm not going to really get into that stuff. But this week, then, what happened on Monday was just part of the season. I mean, it's like, especially this year, there's been all kinds of things that you have to deal with, and it's not the first time that this has happened in the middle of a year. But I mean, as the special teams captain, I think my job is to keep all the guys together and keep moving forward, because no matter what happens, we're playing on Saturday, and we have to be focused on that.
Dave?
Yeah, second time in 3 years, obviously, that you guys have changed special teams coordinators mid-seasons. Did you agree with the move? Was it some?
I mean, that's not my place. That happens at a different level. And again, my job is to keep the guys focused on the field, and that's what I'm going to do.
What did you think of Braden as a coach?
I learned a lot from him, and like you guys have been writing all year, we've been playing pretty well, and it was a different energy he brought this year. And I talked to him the other day and thanked him for everything he did for me. He helped me specifically see things in a different way, which is kind of refreshing after a few years of doing it. So
I think why we wanted to talk to you this week was less about Braden and maybe more about you. So I know you go through this every year. What are your plans for 2021 and beyond?
Just praying it's better than 2020 all the way around. But I mean, I don't know yet. I'm kind of really just we have 2 games left, and I'm gonna enjoy those with the guys we got in this room, because no matter what happens, every year the team's different. And I mean, who knows who's going to be where? And I haven't really given it a whole lot of thought. I feel pretty good, and we'll just have to see what happens next year. But right now, I'm focused on these last 2 games.
Was this the biggest challenge that you felt in the preseason? You know, by Wordle, I don't know. It seemed like that to us at least.
Steve's very good, and yeah, I guess I would say that, yes.
And for you, is it coming back to the Lions or not playing, or going nowhere else? I mean, is that part of the decision at all? Like, would you play somewhere else if it's not in Detroit?
I don't know. I do love it here, and just kind of want to talk to my family and talk to whoever's here and see what the plans are. But I mean, I think it's really too early to make any of those calls right now.
Fair enough. Why do you say Steve's very good? What is it about him? We can't.
Oh no, good snapper, very athletic. Way more athletic than me. So.
All right, thank you, Don.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, too.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we got time for 2 more. Tim, go ahead.
Hey, Don, thanks for taking the time. Hey, I wanted to ask you about Jack in the season that he's had. Obviously, you're up close and personal to that, and he went through such a battle with Aaron in the preseason, and then to have the season that he's had so far, a Pro Bowler. Just can you comment on the season he's had and just how much of an impact he's had on special teams?
I couldn't be prouder of him. He came in last year for the last, I think it was a month he was here with us on the practice squad, and you could see flashes then, like what he was capable of, and he kind of took it to a new level. And I know Aaron and him had the battle going on through camp and everything, but once we got out there, he just kicked it up even another notch during the season. And a lot of our success on the punt team is because of him. He's putting the ball exactly where it needs to be and just kicking his leg off.
Hey, son. Last one with Mike Rothstein.
Yeah, my connection bounced there at the beginning, so I want to jump back in here at the end. I know you said that you haven't made necessarily a decision yet, but with a regime change coming, is that something that you would want to go through again if it's another rebuilding process?
I've done it before, so maybe I could help with it. I don't know. I do feel like I want to get this thing going in the right direction before they get rid of me. So I don't know. All I know is right now my body feels pretty good, and just see what happens after the next 2 weeks.
And for you, I mean, you've had such a long tenure here. Is there one or two memories that really stand out to you from your time?
I don't know about memories. It's more just like the guys that have come through here, and that's what I know that's what I'm gonna miss, talking to other guys that have retired and have gone on. But it's the all the different players that have come through the locker room here that have all left a mark on me and just meant something to me, which has been nice that I've been here to have that many memories and that many people that I've gotten to know.
And last, I know you talked a little bit about your own, your snapping ability and what Stephen Wardle's done. Do you feel like you're still snapping at a pretty high level? Again, this is something that, as lay people, we really don't tell.
Yeah, I'm probably a tad biased, but I think I'm doing pretty good, and I feel good. That's the thing, is talking to other guys that when you start not feeling great and it affects things. But I feel like it took me a little longer this year not having the off season. I think I was a little rusty when we started, but I found my groove here once we got going, and I still think I can play in this league.
I appreciate it, Don. Thanks so much. Happy.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Don. Tim, go ahead.
Hey, Jack, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Hey, can you just take me through Monday and what that was like to get that call from Bevel and just your reaction to it?
Yeah, it was an interesting phone call. He obviously told me about Braden, and then he went on and congratulated me about the Pro Bowl and just told me he was real proud of me, and I was excited about it. But yeah, the whole thing, I guess I was kind of in shock by the whole thing, both aspects of it. And but yeah, I'm just excited to still be here and be going to the Pro Bowl.
And when you were battling Aaron in training camp, would you ever have imagined that this would be the outcome at the end of the year? I mean, your top three in gross and net and the Pro Bowl and the whole bit. Did you ever imagine that?
No, I mean, I didn't really have time to think about Pro Bowl and all those kind of accolades. I was just kind of focusing one day at a time, one game at a time. I was really just trying not to get cut after that first game. But at the same time, me and Aaron both know that we're both really talented and we had potential to do really well this year, both of us. So yeah, I don't think it was outside the realm of possibility. It's just something I wasn't really thinking about at the time.
Thanks and congratulations.
Thank you.
Mike Rothstein.
Hey, Jack. Congrats on the Pro Bowl honor. A little bit more about Braden, and if you can walk me through what you heard and what you saw out of the fake punt on Sunday that has really kind of been the talk of all of this.
Yeah, so we work on fakes every week. We have a couple different ones, and it kind of depends on what kind of look we get. We don't necessarily, at least the punter, they don't necessarily need to tell the punter every time we run fake. So sometimes it's called on the field, and you get a green light or whatever, however that goes. So yeah, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought that maybe we got the look and we called the fake, and honestly, I thought we got it on the field. So I was excited when I saw it happening.
So just to be clear, did you know that there was going to be a fake, or did you not know there was going to be a fake?
No, I knew there was. I knew it was in our playbook. I knew it was something that's a possibility, but I didn't know on that specific play that we were running it.
How often would you know versus not know?
It depends what the play is. If it's a play where we snap it to the personal protector and he runs a sweep, they don't necessarily need to tell me. So, on that kind of play, I don't need to know. But maybe if it's a fake where I throw the ball or if I'm involved more, I'll obviously know more about it.
Okay, and just for you, I mean, I know you were talking about just not getting cut that first game. At what point do you realize I'm actually having a good season? This is something that.
Yeah, so going into the season, obviously we didn't have preseason, and we had a bye week after that fourth game, I believe. So I kind of went into the season thinking the first 4 weeks are almost like a preseason for me, to kind of show what I can do. So I think once I got to the bye week and we had 4 good games on our punt unit, and I felt more comfortable. That was kind of the moment where I kind of took another step mentally.
And just the last thing for me, you mentioned how much on Twitter, you mentioned how much Braden has meant to you and that you wouldn't be here. What's this week been like without him? And I mean, do you think it's the right decision in some ways because of how much he's helped you?
Yeah, obviously he's helped me a lot. He was a big part in giving me an opportunity, and I'll always be thankful for that. Same with Coach Patricia and Bob Quinn. But yeah, I'm really confident in Marquise. When I say Braden has been a mentor and has been the best coach that I could have imagined, Marquise is right there with him. They were a really good combination of coaches, and Marquise deserves just as much credit as anybody. So obviously we have Mule and Prate, and those guys have been around a long time, and Marquise is going to do a great job. So I think we already have a lot of leadership on our unit. So I think these last 2 games are going to be really fun, and we're going to be really competitive.
And just the last question I have is, obviously Pro Bowl is not an actual thing this year. Are you a Madden player? Are you going to get in on that part of this, or do you just kind of take the honor and move on? What do you do here?
Yeah, I'm going to take part in it. I'm not a great Madden player. I was telling Tori earlier that I was living in Matt Prater's basement this summer for probably 2 months, and Prater's a big Madden guy. He plays Madden every day. So I had to at least get a little bit better, at least good enough to give him some competition. So think I got a little bit better throughout the season. So I think that actually prepared me more than anything.
Did you ever beat Prater?
Oh yeah. I beat him a couple times.
All right, appreciate it, Jack. Congratulations again, man.
Thank you.
Justin?
Hey, Jack, I think the last time we talked to you, you were coming off the Player of the Month that first month, and it was kind of easy to shrug off, 4 games is a small sample size, but you're on track for the franchise record for net punting. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm just wondering what it would mean for you in your first season to hold that mark.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've talked to you guys about it before. That net punting is it's my favorite stat for punting just because it's a team stat. So I think everybody on our punt unit will be really proud of themselves and know that they played a part in holding a franchise record. I think that's so cool, and yeah, that's definitely something that I'm excited to compete for.
When I've talked to people about you, they say you've never been like a stats guy. We've seen other kickers and punters roll through here they're really kind of on top of their numbers and kind of obsessed with them. But is it true you really don't care too much about that kind of detail?
I think it's something you look at after the game. Sure, after the game I'll look at my stats and kind of see how we did, but you can't think about them during the game. It's got to be a punt to punt thing. I can't be shoot, I had a bad punt on my last punt. I need to hit a bomb here to get my stats up. I'm never thinking like that. I'm just thinking, let's have a good punt every time. And then if I do that, the stats will figure themselves out. So don't get me wrong. I like looking at the stats after the game, and I like looking at my other friends that punt in the league. I like comparing myself to them. But during the game, you can never think about it like that.
And then just specifically on punting, I know there's a lot of other aspects to what you do, but what's the one area in punting that you still feel like you've got a lot of room to grow?
Yeah, I think if I keep on, there's a couple of things, but I think the main thing is plus 50 punts, trying to pin them inside the 5. I think I've done a decent job at points this year of getting some fair catches at the 10, but I think moving forward, I'd love to have those inside the 10, hopefully inside the 5. So just getting more precise in the plus 50 area is probably my biggest area.
Appreciate it, Jack. Congratulations on the Pro Bowl.
Thank you.
Dave?
He hit one of those inside the 10 this past week, right? So, no, congrats on the Pro Bowl. So back to the fake punt for a quick sec. At what point did you know that it was Braden that called it rather than Coach Bevel?
I didn't know until Braden got let go. I had no idea. I don't talk to Bev a whole lot on the sideline. Honestly, I don't talk to Braden a whole lot on the sideline. So I assumed that it was just any ordinary fake. I didn't know it was anything weird about it.
Did Braden explain the call at all afterwards? I mean, did you have any sort of conversations like that about why you guys went with the fake there instead of?
No, he doesn't come. He doesn't ask me about stuff like that. So I just trusted that he had the look.
Was it the right call, regardless of who called it? To go for a fake in that situation.
I don't know. That's above my decision-making power. I have no idea.
All right, fair enough. Appreciate it. Thank you, and congrats again on the Pro Bowl.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jack. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.